Money moves with rhythm. It dances to the song of belief, not to the murmur of fear. Wherever confidence stands tall, money comes rushing like a river breaking through a dam. But wherever doubt hides, the flow turns still. Life has never rewarded hesitation. The man who doubts his worth cannot keep wealth, no matter how hard he works. But the one who knows, deep within his spirit, that he is worthy of good, that he is aligned with infinite supply, will always draw abundance like metal to a magnet. Confidence is not arrogance, it is divine certainty. It is the voice of spirit saying, I am the source of all that you need. When you walk with that knowing, the world rearranges itself to serve your conviction. So many people chase money with trembling hearts. They pray in fear, saying, I hope it comes, while secretly believing it never will. Yet the law of life is simple. What you fear, you draw near. What you love and expect, you attract in full measure. Money does not answer to fear, it flees from it. It listens for strength, for joy, for faith. Speak with confidence and watch how opportunities begin to appear. Doors you thought were locked will swing open. People will come into your life as instruments of your prosperity. Situations will bend in your favor because your vibration commands it. You must see yourself already supplied. The confident soul does not wonder if things will work out. He knows they already have. When you walk in faith, your very presence becomes magnetic. You don't chase, you draw in. You don't worry, you command. The doubter spends his energy questioning, what if I fail? The confident spirit declares, success is inevitable. That one shift changes everything. For the universe is impartial. It simply mirrors the energy you send. Do you understand what that means? When you speak of lack, you plant more lack. When you affirm abundance, you summon it. Your words are living seeds. Each one grows in the soil of belief. So with confidence, and your harvest will astonish you. There is divine timing in everything. Confidence allows you to wait without worry. You know that what belongs to you is making its way to you right now. You are not chasing, you are aligning. You are not begging, you are declaring. Every time you give thanks before receiving, you are declaring mastery. You are saying, I trust that all is unfolding for my good. That gratitude amplifies your magnetic field. It tells money, I am ready for you. And money rushes to obey. So stand tall, speak boldly, walk with assurance. When you look at your wallet, see not the number inside, but the infinite supply that surrounds you. When you face uncertainty, say, I am guided, I am provided for, I am confident. And watch how the tide turns in your favor. Remember this eternal truth. Money rushes toward confidence, not doubt, because confidence is faith in motion. It is the language the universe understands, the vibration of abundance itself. So today, lift your head high, release fear, claim your wealth, not with worry, but with certainty, for as you believe, so shall it flow. Money is not a mystery, it is energy, responsive and alive, constantly moving toward those who understand its rhythm. It is magnetized by certainty and driven by belief. Confidence is its natural language, and doubt is its only obstacle. Money rushes toward those who know, not those who wish, not those who hope, but those who know that they are worthy of receiving it. Faith, when it is alive and burning bright, becomes a magnetic field around the soul, drawing wealth, opportunities, and favor from every direction. But doubt, quiet and poisonous, slowly eats away at that field until all that remains is struggle, hesitation, and lack. There is a great spiritual law that says whatever we claim with authority becomes ours, and whatever we approach with fear slips through our fingers. You cannot attract what you fear, and you cannot hold what you doubt. Money does not flow to the hesitant heart because hesitation signals confusion. The universe does not respond to confusion, it responds to clarity. A confident man may have little in his hands today, but he possesses a wealth of certainty within. That inner wealth calls to the outer form, and soon the invisible becomes visible. Confidence is not arrogance, it is divine remembrance. It is the soul recognizing its oneness with infinite supply. When you are confident, you are not boasting in your own power. You are aligning with the power that created worlds. You are saying, I am a vessel through which prosperity flows. I am open and ready. The timid person says, what if it doesn't work out? But the confident spirit says it already has. There is a vast difference between wishing for something and knowing it belongs to you. The first leads to endless waiting. The second brings instant movement in the unseen. Money is a mirror. It reflects the state of your consciousness. When you walk in fear, you tell life, I am unprepared. When you walk in assurance, you say, I am capable, I am ready, I am worthy. The world mirrors that belief back to you through circumstances, people, and ideas. Those who doubt constantly sabotage their own flow. They second, guess their dreams, they question their timing, and they speak words of lack that build invisible walls around them. Every time they say, I can't afford that, or I never get lucky, they reinforce the pattern of scarcity. But the confident person understands that words are living decrees, each one a command to the invisible forces that govern reality. He speaks abundance, and abundance hears him. Confidence is the purest act of faith. It is the invisible proof of belief. It says, I do not need to see the way. I know the way will appear. It walks boldly, even in uncertainty. Those who live with this kind of confidence seem to have an invisible wind behind them. Doors open for them that remain closed for others. People call it luck, but it is not luck. It is law. Life bends towards certainty. The one who knows receives. The one who doubts delays. When you are confident, your energy changes. Your tone changes. Your presence speaks louder than your words. People trust you, opportunities find you, and money gravitates toward you because confidence carries the vibration of stability. Everyone, consciously or unconsciously, moves toward stability. Even money seeks safety, and confidence is safety embodied. A person who doubts himself emits signals of uncertainty, and money hesitates to enter. But when you walk with unwavering belief, you send a clear message. This is a vessel prepared to receive. The moment you decide that abundance is your birthright, the universe begins to rearrange itself to match that truth. It does not matter what your current situation looks like. It matters what your inner conviction declares. There are people who rise from nothing because they dare to believe they were never meant to stay there. Their confidence becomes their capital long before money arrives. It becomes the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. Doubt, on the other hand, is like a leak in a vessel. You may be filled one day, but as long as doubt seeps through the cracks, your supply will drain away. Doubt says, what if it's too late? Confidence answers, it's never too late for the universe. Doubt says, what if I fail? Confidence smiles and says, failure cannot touch what is divinely guided. Every time you choose confidence over fear, you reinforce your magnetic power. Every time you act as though your desire is already fulfilled, you tell life exactly how to respond. Confidence is action infused with faith. It is not passive belief. It is movement inspired by knowing. It is the decision to speak the word, take the step, and trust that the ground will rise to meet you. The universe is quick to reward those who dare to act in faith. Money flows to those who move with certainty, not to those who wait for a sign of safety. The act of confidence itself creates safety. It transforms possibilities into realities. Even gratitude is an expression of confidence. When you give thanks before receiving, you are proclaiming your faith in the unseen. You are saying, I already possess what I need. It is only unfolding in perfect timing. That vibration of gratitude multiplies your blessings because it aligns with trust. Doubt closes your hands. Gratitude opens them wide. Confidence keeps them open long enough to receive. When fear whispers, what if you lose everything? Confidence responds, I cannot lose what is mine by divine right. That kind of conviction cannot be shaken because it comes from a place deeper than logic. It comes from knowing that abundance is not outside you, it is within you. You do not chase money, you express it. You do not beg for prosperity, you embody it. The more you affirm your connection to infinite supply, the more that supply manifests in visible form. The man who doubts spends his days reacting to life. The man who believes moves through life as a creator. He understands that his inner state dictates his outer conditions. He chooses his thoughts carefully, knowing each one is a seed that will eventually bear fruit. He no longer entertains the language of lack. He replaces I can't with I will. He replaces I hope with I know. This shift in consciousness alters everything. Money, opportunities, and resources are like loyal messengers. They go where they are welcomed. When you radiate confidence, you open the gates. You tell the universe, send it forth, I am ready to receive. But when you doubt, you post a sign that says, not yet. The universe always respects your sign. Change your belief and the flow will change. So the true work is not in chasing wealth. It is in cultivating confidence. Confidence in your worth. Confidence in your vision. Confidence in the divine law that governs all supply. The moment you believe deeply enough, the world begins to mirror that belief back to you. You will see doors open, ideas bloom, people assist, and opportunities unfold. Money rushes toward confidence because confidence is faith in its purest form. It is the heartbeat of creation, the vibration of assurance that tells all things, you may come forth now. And when you live in that knowing, you never have to question when or how prosperity will come. It will come swiftly, directly, and abundantly, drawn by the irresistible pull of your certainty. Every thought you think is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the universe, and each one grows according to its kind. When you think in confidence, you plant seeds of abundance. When you think in doubt, you plant seeds of delay. The universe is not judging you. It is responding to you. It listens to your vibration, not your words. It moves not by your wishes, but by your belief. The energy of confidence says, I am ready, and immediately the unseen forces begin to move on your behalf. Doubt, on the other hand, whispers, I am not sure, and the same forces pause, waiting for you to decide. Life is not withholding anything from you. It is simply waiting for your permission to deliver. The universe is a perfect mirror. It has no power of its own except to reflect what you send into it. When you believe that money flows easily to you, life will show you that truth. When you believe that you must struggle and strain, life will show you that too. Confidence declares, the supply is already mine, while doubt trembles and says, what if it never comes? And the universe, ever obedient, reflects whichever declaration is stronger. This is why faith is the greatest power on earth. It moves the unseen into the seen. Confidence is a vibration of knowing. It is not forced, it is calm, steady, and sure. It does not need to prove itself. It simply is. The confident person can walk into a room and shift the atmosphere without saying a word, because their energy is rooted in certainty. They are in tune with the divine current that says, all is well. That alignment is what calls money, opportunity, and success into form. Doubt, on the other hand, is noisy and restless. It seeks proof before it believes. It waits to see results before it trusts. But life does not work that way. You must believe first, see first with the inner eye, and then the outer will follow. When your heart is filled with confidence, every door that belongs to you will open. You will be guided in perfect timing to the right people, the right places, and the right ideas. You won't need to chase, you will attract. Confidence sends out a clear signal to the universe, I am a vessel ready for abundance, and the universe rushes to fill that vessel. You begin to notice synchronicities, sudden opportunities, unexpected gifts. None of it is chance, it is response. It is the divine law at work, matching your inner certainty with outer evidence. Think of doubt as static on a radio. When you tune into fear, you distort the signal. You can't hear the guidance that's trying to reach you. But when you clear your mind and choose confidence, the static disappears, and the message of abundance comes through loud and clear. Confidence is spiritual clarity. It is the state in which your mind, emotions, and energy are aligned with truth. You no longer say, I hope things work out, because you know they already are. Every time you act from confidence, you create movement in the unseen. When you take a step in faith, invisible doors swing open before you. You may not see how, but the how is not your job. The knowing is. The universe has infinite ways to deliver your good once you are in alignment. The mistake most people make is waiting for everything to be certain before they move, not realizing that certainty comes asterisk after asterisk you decide to believe. You don't wait for proof to trust. You trust, and the proof appears. The universe loves a confident heart. Confidence is order, while doubt is chaos. When you are certain, your energy becomes focused, precise, and powerful. When you doubt, your energy becomes scattered and weak. Confidence gathers your power into one direction. It becomes a laser beam that cuts through fear, confusion, and lack. That focused vibration sends a strong message into the field of creation, saying, "This is what I choose." And creation responds immediately. Money is a servant, not a master. It moves where it feels the strongest sense of direction. Confidence gives it that direction. It tells money where to go, how to serve, and what purpose to fulfill. Doubt gives no instruction. It hesitates, and money hesitates too. But when you stand in knowing, money recognizes you as its rightful steward. It comes willingly, swiftly, joyfully, because it feels safe in your hands. Confidence does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means trusting that even when things appear uncertain, something greater is unfolding. It means saying, "I may not see the full picture, but I know it is working for my good." That kind of faith cannot be shaken. It becomes a vibration so steady that the universe must respond. Life bends toward the one who believes. When you speak words of confidence, you give life a command. You say, "All my needs are met in divine timing," and the energy begins to move to make it so. You say, "I am a magnet for abundance," and circumstances begin to align to prove your declaration true. But when you say, "I never have enough," you create a different reality. The universe does not choose between them. It simply amplifies whichever belief you hold strongest. This is why every thought matters, every word is a seed, and every feeling is a signal. To live in confidence is to live in harmony with universal law. You are no longer begging for blessings, you are claiming them. You are no longer waiting for miracles, you are expecting them. You understand that faith is the substance of creation, the invisible material from which all things are formed. So you speak with authority, you act with assurance, and you rest in peace. You know that the same power that guides the stars also guides your steps. Confidence says to the universe, "I trust you completely." And the universe, smiling, replies, "Then let me show you how good life can be." Doubt says, "I don't know if I can." And the universe answers, "Very well. Let it be as you believe." The law never fails. It is precise, it is exact, and it is always fair. Whatever you send out returns multiplied. So choose confidence, for it is the key that unlocks every door. It is the song the universe loves to hear. It is the energy that makes money rush, opportunities unfold, and blessings overflow. The moment you replace doubt with divine certainty, everything changes. The outer world rearranges itself to match your new vibration. You no longer wonder if abundance will come. You simply know it already has, and that knowing is what brings it forth. Money is not moved by begging, pleading, or hoping. It is commanded by faith. The universe does not respond to the energy of desperation, because desperation signals lack, and lack only multiplies itself. True prosperity listens for the voice of authority, for the spirit that stands up and declares, "I am ready, I am worthy, and I receive now." Money rushes toward that tone of confidence because it recognizes its own origin. It was created through divine law, and that same law answers only to certainty. Those who approach it timidly, uncertain of their power, will always find it slipping through their fingers, not because they are unworthy, but because their vibration says, "I am not sure." Confidence is not loudness, it is alignment. It is not arrogance, it is spiritual dominion. The confident soul does not shout to prove itself. It speaks with calm authority that carries the weight of belief. When you speak words of prosperity with conviction, your words become living forces. They move through the invisible substance of creation, calling forth the conditions, opportunities, and people required to fulfill your decree. This is the true meaning of speaking life. The words of a confident spirit are not idle. They are commands issued to the unseen. Desperation is the opposite vibration. It cries out in fear, "Please let something happen. Please let it work this time." But those words, however emotional, are rooted in disbelief. They tell the universe that you are uncertain, and uncertainty is not the language of creation. Imagine a king begging his servants to obey. They would not know what to do, for his tone contradicts his position. In the same way, when you plead for abundance, you forget your own divine authority. You are not a beggar before life. You are a co-creator with it. Your word is meant to command, not to plead. When you speak from confidence, your words carry power because they are spoken from knowing. There is a difference between saying "I will be prosperous" and saying "I am prosperous." The first statement implies distance. It keeps your desire in the future always out of reach. The second declares it already done. That is the language of faith, and faith is the magnet of all supply. The confident person does not wait to see results before believing. They believe and results appear. They do not look to their wallet to decide how they feel. They look within to the infinite source that never empties. Money, like all forms of energy, seeks direction. It does not know where to go until you tell it. If your words and thoughts are filled with confusion, money becomes confused. If your energy says, "I want wealth, but I'm afraid of it," then money stays away because it feels unwelcome. But when your vibration says, "I am a safe home for abundance," money rushes toward you. It longs to serve those who handle it with wisdom, gratitude, and confidence. It avoids those who doubt their worthiness to possess it. The law is impersonal. It simply mirrors your consciousness. You must understand that your words are not mere sounds. They are creative forces. Every sentence is a brushstroke painting the picture of your future. When you speak in fear, you draw shadows. When you speak in confidence, you bring color and light. The difference lies in emotion. If you say, "I am rich," but feel fearful, your vibration contradicts your statement. The universe listens to feeling more than phrasing. Therefore, speak your affirmations until you feel them, until the vibration of truth rises within you. Once that alignment is achieved, your words become unstoppable. Confidence transforms ordinary speech into divine decree. A simple statement, like "everything I touch prospers," becomes a spiritual command when spoken with full conviction. The moment you say it and mean it, unseen forces begin to align in your favor. You may not see the movement immediately, but things are shifting behind the curtain of time. The right ideas, the right people, and the right timing begin to converge because you have given a clear instruction to life. Your confidence sets the universe in motion. Desperation, however, scatters that power. When you pray with fear or speak with worry, you send mixed signals. You say, "I want it," but your energy says, "I don't believe I can have it." The law responds to the stronger signal, which is almost always fear. That is why those who plead and struggle often stay stuck. They are working against their own vibration. It is not hard work that brings prosperity. It is aligned work. A confident action, even small, carries more creative force than 1,000 frantic efforts driven by fear. When you realize that the universe is obedient to faith, you will stop asking timidly and start declaring boldly. You will understand that your voice carries divine power. Every word you speak is a seed, and the soil of life is fertile. Speak, "I am always supplied," and that supply must appear. Speak, "Money comes easily and frequently," and doors will begin to open in unexpected ways. Speak, "I am guided in every decision," and wisdom will rise within you. But speak, "I never have enough," and the universe will agree. The law cannot argue with you. It simply fulfills your decree. Confidence is the language of mastery. It speaks calmly because it knows the law is unbreakable. It does not rush, it does not fear, it does not doubt. When you speak from that energy, money recognizes your voice. It rushes toward you like iron to a magnet. The confident person doesn't ask for permission to prosper. They claim their prosperity as a birthright. They understand that life was never meant to be a struggle of survival, but a dance of creation. There is a great difference between begging for something and commanding it into form. Begging is rooted in the belief that you are separate from what you desire. Commanding is rooted in the knowing that you are one with it. When you speak with confidence, you bridge that illusion of separation. You and your desire become the same energy. That is why the confident attract effortlessly. They are no longer trying to get something. They are allowing what is already theirs to appear. The moment you shift your speech from pleading to proclaiming, from fear to faith, from hope to knowing, everything changes. You awaken the creative power that has been waiting within you all along. You stop chasing money and start attracting it. You stop asking for signs and start being the sign. You stop seeking permission and start giving instruction. And in that moment, the invisible world begins to move, swiftly, surely, and joyfully, because it has heard the only voice it truly obeys, the voice of confident command. Those who understand the law of assumption know that life bends to belief, not to circumstance. The outer world is only a mirror of the inner conviction. When you assume that abundance already belongs to you, when you carry yourself as if your good is already here, you begin to live in the vibration of receiving. Money, success, and opportunity do not come to make you confident. They come because you already are confident. The assumption of abundance precedes its arrival. You must live from the end, not toward it. Assumption is not pretending. It is spiritual certainty in motion. It is the quiet knowing that what you desire is already done in the unseen, awaiting your recognition. When you assume wealth, you do not force it into being. You simply accept it as fact in consciousness, and then life begins to align to prove you right. Every thought, feeling, and word becomes a brushstroke painting your reality. To assume abundance is to rehearse success within yourself until it becomes your natural state. Imagine a person who assumes wealth as their truth. They do not wake up worrying about bills. They rise with a calm knowing that provision meets them wherever they go. Their language changes. They no longer say, "I can't afford it," but "I choose whether or not this aligns with my abundance." Their posture, their tone, even the way they breathe carries the rhythm of confidence. That vibration communicates directly with the universe. Life listens and responds because assumption is faith dressed in feeling. Doubt, on the other hand, is the great interrupter. It breaks the rhythm of faith. When you doubt, you place your trust in appearances rather than in the unseen law. You say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But the universe replies, "You will see it when you believe it." Assumption flips that order. It knows that every visible thing first existed as an invisible belief. The confident person refuses to be swayed by appearances. They understand that reality is still forming, still soft like clay, and their thoughts are the sculptor's hands. You cannot assume abundance and speak lack. You cannot claim wealth in one breath and complain about shortage in the next. Every time you talk about not having enough, you reaffirm the state of lack. The law of assumption demands consistency of feeling. The confident person guards their inner state fiercely. They choose words of faith, emotions of gratitude, and actions of certainty. They live as though their good is inevitable because it is. Their energy becomes so consistent that the outer world has no choice but to mirror it back. When you begin to act from assumption, everything around you shifts. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. People who doubted you start to notice you. Opportunities that were invisible suddenly stand in plain sight. It is not magic, it is law. You changed your inner frequency, and the outer world had to tune itself to match. Life is a great mirror. It reflects not what you want, but what you believe yourself to be. Assume that you are already prosperous, and soon you will walk through experiences that confirm it. Assumption gives birth to action. An action born from confidence is powerful. You begin to make decisions from abundance instead of fear. You stop saying, "I can't risk it," and start saying, "I am guided in every step." That inner shift changes how you carry yourself. People feel your certainty. They are drawn to your energy. Clients, collaborators, and opportunities sense your faith before you speak it. Money is naturally attracted to order, direction, and confidence. It senses alignment and rushes to serve it. There is a vast difference between waiting for proof and knowing the proof is on the way. The one who assumes does not wait. They live asterisk as if asterisk already provided for. They speak their affirmations with gratitude, not longing. They treat themselves as worthy now, not someday. Their faith is not dependent on the balance in their account. It is anchored in the abundance of the universe. The confident person walks into the marketplace of life knowing they are rich in ideas, rich in creativity, rich in favor, and so they draw outward wealth to match that inward reality. To live in assumption is to live in creative dominion. You become a conscious participant in your own unfolding. You are no longer tossed about by outer events because you understand they are only reflections. If something appears lacking, you don't panic, you adjust your inner state. You say, "This is only temporary, my true supply is infinite." You refuse to worship appearances because appearances change, but the law of belief never fails. You hold your assumption steady until reality yields to it. Doubt is a storm that uproots your garden. Assumption is the sun that ripens it. When you cultivate assumption daily, through gratitude, visualization, and confident speech, you build a vibration so strong that lack cannot touch it. You move from hoping to knowing, from waiting to receiving, and as that shift solidifies, money and opportunity begin to flow to you without struggle. Those who master assumption understand that prosperity is not something to chase, it is something to embody. You become the vibration of wealth first, and then the world delivers the form. You think richly, you speak richly, you feel richly, and soon your outer world reflects that richness in every way. The law cannot fail. Life will always prove your assumption true. So live today as though the good you seek is already yours. Speak as though your prosperity has already arrived. Walk as though the path is already cleared. Each time you act in that vibration, you strengthen the bridge between thought and form. The universe does not resist, it responds. It rushes to fulfill the assumption held with unwavering faith. For the one who knows that abundance is already theirs, every step becomes a demonstration of divine supply, and every moment a confirmation that assumption, not doubt, is the birthplace of wealth. Fear is the great thief of supply. It sneaks into the mind, whispers doubt into the heart, and slowly builds invisible walls between you and your abundance. It makes you question your worth, your timing, your ability, and your right to prosper. Fear pretends to protect you, but in truth it binds you. It tells you to shrink when you should rise, to wait when you should act, to hold back when you should give. It convinces you that safety lies in hesitation, when safety actually lies in faith. Every fearful thought, every anxious word, every nervous decision sends out a vibration of lack, and life responds in kind. The flow of money begins to tighten, opportunities pause, and clarity fades. Fear blocks the channel through which abundance wants to move. Confidence, however, opens that channel wide. It says to the universe, "I trust the process. I know that supply is constant and infinite." The confident heart understands that everything in life moves by law, not by luck. It knows that divine timing is never late and never lost. Fear cannot exist in the same space as faith, for one cancels the other. When you choose confidence, fear dissolves like mist before the morning sun. You realize that your good was never in danger, only your perception was clouded. The moment you release fear, you clear the way for money and blessings to return to their natural flow. Fear makes people cling tightly to what they have, as though life's abundance might run out. It makes them grasp at opportunities from a place of desperation rather than inspiration. But whatever you hold too tightly cannot grow. Confidence, on the other hand, releases with trust. It gives freely, knowing that what goes out will return multiplied. Confidence is expansive. It invites increase. Fear contracts. It invites loss. When you give in fear, you give to prevent loss. When you give in faith, you give to express abundance. One act brings depletion, the other brings overflow. Fear often wears the disguise of logic. It says, be realistic, be careful, don't expect too much, but what it really means is stay small. The confident person refuses to obey that voice. They know that divine law honors bold expectation. Confidence does not mean ignoring wisdom. It means refusing to bow to worry. It means making decisions from faith instead of fear, from trust instead of panic. When you act in fear, you are acting from separation. When you act in confidence, you are acting from unity with the source of all supply. Imagine two people facing the same challenge, one filled with fear, the other with faith. The fearful one sees obstacles, limitations, and reasons to hold back. They say, "What if I lose?" And that thought alone begins to block every flow of opportunity. The confident one, however, looks at the same challenge and says, "This is only an opportunity in disguise." That declaration alone changes the vibration. Suddenly, new ideas emerge, help appears, and the way becomes clear. The difference is not in circumstance, it is in consciousness. Fear closes the door to creativity. Confidence throws it wide open. Fear is the energy of separation. It tells you that you and your supply are apart, that you must chase it, compete for it, or fight to keep it. Confidence knows that you and your supply are one, eternally connected. You cannot be cut off from what is yours by divine right. You are like a tree connected to its roots. Your source is unseen but ever present. When fear whispers, "What if the money runs out?" confidence answers, "It cannot. My source is infinite." That single truth destroys every illusion of lack. Many live their lives guided by fear disguised as responsibility. They refuse to take inspired risks, refusing to step into new callings because they fear failure. But the one who trusts divine law knows that faith itself creates safety. Fear never protected anyone. It only prevented them from moving forward. The universe supports boldness. It rewards those who act in trust, who dare to step even when the path ahead isn't fully visible. Every step taken in confidence is met with unseen assistance, for the entire universe moves to support a fearless heart. Fear not only blocks financial flow, it drains spiritual vitality. It makes you heavy, weary, and small. Confidence is light, expansive, and energizing. When you walk in faith, your energy rises, your mind clears, your decisions sharpen. You begin to notice signs of guidance everywhere. Ideas arrive at the perfect time, meetings occur by divine orchestration, and opportunities appear from unexpected directions. Fear blinds you to those signs. Confidence opens your eyes to them. Every time you replace fear with trust, you strengthen your inner magnetism. The vibration of faith sends a powerful signal into the universe. I am safe, I am guided, I am provided for. And life responds by surrounding you with experiences that match that signal. Suddenly, money begins to flow more freely. You find yourself meeting people who support your vision, and doors open that once seemed locked. It is not coincidence, it is resonance. You have changed your frequency from fear to faith. Fear cannot survive in a mind filled with gratitude. Gratitude is the voice of confidence saying, "I already have more than enough." The moment you thank life for what you expect, before it even arrives, you disarm fear completely. Gratitude tells the universe that you trust it fully. It shifts your energy from lack to abundance, from waiting to receiving. Confidence grows in that space of gratitude because you are no longer focused on what might go wrong. You are celebrating what is already right. To overcome fear, act in spite of it. Fear is not conquered by waiting for it to disappear. It fades only through movement. When you take a step in faith, the power of confidence rises to meet you. Each courageous act rewires your mind to trust more deeply. Eventually, fear loses its grip, and confidence becomes your natural state. Then, abundance becomes effortless because nothing stands in its way. The law of life is simple. What you fear, you invite. What you trust, you attract. Fear builds walls. Confidence builds bridges. Fear tells you to hide. Confidence tells you to shine. Fear imagines lack. Confidence creates supply. The moment you choose confidence over fear, the universe begins to flow through you freely again. Money, ideas, and blessings rush in like a tide returning to the shore. So let go of the illusion of danger. You are supported, you are guided, you are safe. Fear is only a shadow. It cannot touch the light of faith that burns within you. Stand firm in that light. Declare your confidence in divine supply. Walk forward even if you cannot see the full path, for the ground will rise beneath your steps. The moment you release fear and choose confidence, you reconnect to the endless river of abundance that has been flowing toward you all along. When you declare your worthiness, you align yourself with the vibration of abundance. Money and success are not rewards for struggle or punishment for lack. They are reflections of belief. Life mirrors what you deeply feel about yourself. If you see yourself as small, undeserving, or inadequate, life will echo that back through limited opportunities, delayed blessings, and constant financial strain. But when you affirm with conviction, I am worthy of wealth, I am worthy of ease, I am worthy of receiving, everything begins to change. You send out a frequency of deservingness, and the universe rushes to confirm it. The world around you rearranges itself to match your inner declaration. Worthiness is not arrogance, it is truth. It is remembering that you were created from abundance, not from lack. You were born from divine intelligence, which makes no mistakes, no duplicates, no failures. The very breath that animates your body is proof that you are part of the infinite source. That source never questions your worth, only the human mind does. When you remove the veil of unworthiness, you see that everything you have ever desired was already prepared for you. Your job is not to earn it through fear or effort. It is to allow it through belief. So many people block their good because they secretly doubt their right to have it. They say they want more money, but their subconscious whispers, "Who am I to have wealth?" They desire freedom, but deep down they feel guilt for wanting it. These hidden feelings act like invisible barriers, keeping abundance at a distance. The universe does not deny them. They deny themselves through disbelief. The confident person, however, knows their worth without apology. They affirm their right to prosper because they understand that divine supply is limitless and impartial. When one person prospers, it takes nothing away from another. It simply proves that the law of abundance works. Confidence in your worth transforms the way you speak, act, and move through life. You stop begging for opportunities and start attracting them. You no longer chase money. Money begins to recognize your vibration and comes to you. This is not magic, it is alignment. When you carry yourself with assurance, you emit a signal that says, "I am ready." That readiness draws forth circumstances that match your inner state. The world responds to the energy you radiate, not the words you repeat. A confident declaration made once with faith is more powerful than 1,000 affirmations said in fear. To declare your worthiness is to open the gate to flow. Every time you say, "I am worthy of good things," you tear down the walls built by years of doubt and conditioning. You silence the old voices that said, "You must struggle to earn it," or "People like you can't have that." You begin to see that these were illusions, stories passed down by fear. True confidence has no need to compare or compete, because it knows that each soul has its own stream of supply. What is yours cannot be taken, delayed, or diminished. When you stand in that knowing, you release all resistance, and abundance rushes in as naturally as sunlight through an open window. The confident heart does not plead with the universe. It commands with gratitude. It speaks from authority, not desperation. It does not say, "Please bring me money," but "I give thanks that wealth flows freely to me now." That shift in language changes everything because it shifts the energy. Pleading comes from lack. Thanksgiving comes from fullness. When you give thanks for what you desire before it arrives, you declare to life, "I already have it in spirit, and I trust it to manifest in form." The universe responds instantly to that level of confidence because it recognizes the vibration of certainty. When you declare your worthiness, you stop seeking validation from the world. You no longer need others to tell you you're capable, intelligent, or talented. You already know. That self-knowing is magnetic. Opportunities, partnerships, and financial blessings are drawn to those who stand firm in their value. The insecure repel abundance by constantly questioning their place. The confident attracted by resting in assurance. Remember, the energy of "I hope it comes" is weak, but the energy of "it's already mine" is irresistible. You must treat yourself as the wealthy already do. Carry yourself with dignity. Speak as though every word has creative power, because it does. Surround yourself with order, beauty, and gratitude, even in the smallest things. This signals to your subconscious mind that you are worthy of greater things. The mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. It believes what you consistently tell it. When you live as if abundance is already yours, it has no choice but to become your reality. Confidence in your worth also transforms how you handle setbacks. Instead of collapsing in self-doubt, you remind yourself, "This delay is not denial. My good cannot be lost." You stop seeing problems as punishments and start seeing them as refinements, opportunities to deepen faith. This mindset keeps you aligned with abundance even when appearances seem against you. Life always tests the depth of your belief before expanding it. The one who knows their worth does not waver. They hold the vision steady until reality catches up. When you finally believe in your own worth, you become unstoppable. You no longer ask, "Can I have this?" but "How can I best receive what is already mine?" You no longer shrink in the presence of wealth. You recognize it as the natural expression of divine law. The energy of confidence calls forth provision, opportunity, and ease. The moment you affirm your worth, you reawaken the sleeping power within, the power to create, to attract, and to command. Declare it now, not timidly but with conviction. "I am worthy of all that is good, abundant, and divine. I release all doubt, all fear, all guilt. I am ready to receive, for I am already chosen." Say it until you feel it, and when you feel it, you will see it. For the world cannot help but mirror back what you boldly declare. Money rushes toward confidence because confidence proclaims worth, and worth is the very key that unlocks the storehouse of infinite supply. Confidence transforms the invisible into the visible. It is the unseen force that turns thoughts into things, ideas into income, and visions into tangible reality. The confident person does not wait for signs or approval. They create them. They understand that the universe responds to boldness, not hesitation. When you stand firm in belief and move with unwavering trust, life aligns itself to meet you halfway. Doors open that were once closed. Paths appear where none seem to exist. Confidence is the divine spark that activates the law of manifestation. It tells the universe, "I am ready," and the universe replies, "Then here it is." Most people wait to feel confident until after success appears. They say, "Once I get the money, I'll feel secure," or "Once I see proof, I'll believe." But the law does not work that way. You must believe first. The feeling of confidence must precede the result, not follow it. Confidence is the cause. Manifestation is the effect. Those who understand this truth walk by faith, not by sight. They hold the vision so firmly that reality has no choice but to rearrange itself around it. They understand that everything visible began as something invisible, an idea carried in the womb of faith until it took form. Confidence is creative energy. It commands substance. When you speak words of assurance, you are shaping the unseen material of the universe into form. Every declaration of faith sends out a vibration that gathers resources, opportunities, and people in perfect harmony. The universe is a mirror. It reflects your inner certainty. If you believe something is possible, it begins to move toward you. If you doubt, it drifts away. The confident mind magnetizes, while the doubtful mind repels. The power of confidence lies in decision. Nothing happens until you decide. Indecision is the child of doubt. It keeps your energy scattered and your results delayed. The moment you make a clear decision, the law begins to move. Life starts shifting things in your favor, because clarity is power. The confident person decides once and moves forward with purpose. They don't look back to question, did I choose right? They know that any choice made in faith is guided. They trust that even detours serve their destiny. This unwavering decision-making builds momentum, and momentum invites manifestation. Confidence also gives your words power. Words spoken with doubt are empty. Words spoken with conviction carry creative authority. When you declare, money flows to me with ease, and you believe it, you set in motion a law that cannot fail. But if you speak it while secretly doubting, you neutralize your own power. The difference lies not in the sentence, but in the spirit behind it. The confident heart speaks from knowing, the doubtful heart speaks from hoping. The universe hears the vibration, not just the vocabulary. To manifest anything, wealth, success, opportunity, you must act as if it were already yours. This as if attitude is not pretense, it is preparation. Confidence behaves in alignment with the outcome before it arrives. It dresses, speaks, and decides from the place of completion. It carries itself as though the goal is already achieved. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. The one who feels wealthy in spirit naturally attracts wealth in form. The one who walks with the energy of victory inevitably wins. Confidence turns obstacles into stepping stones. The uncertain person sees failure as proof they are unworthy. The confident person sees failure as proof they are progressing. They know that every setback is a setup for greater success. They keep their faith steady, understanding that appearances are temporary, but spiritual law is eternal. When things seem to go wrong, they declare, this too is working in my favor. That single statement shifts the energy instantly. Confidence refuses to let temporary defeat define permanent destiny. Confidence also communicates with the subconscious mind, the true powerhouse of manifestation. When you affirm boldly and consistently, your subconscious begins to accept those statements as truth. Once it accepts them, it goes to work, drawing people, ideas, and circumstances that align with that belief. Doubt, however, sends mixed signals, confusing the subconscious and delaying results. This is why confidence is essential. It gives your inner power a clear instruction. Say to your mind daily, I am guided, provided for, and divinely supplied. Speak it until you feel it, and your subconscious will begin to create it. Every great achievement begins with a confident thought that dared to defy the visible. The Wright brothers believed flight was possible when the world said it wasn't. Inventors, artists, and pioneers throughout history manifested the impossible because they trusted their vision more than they trusted their fears. They lived by the law of confidence. They did not wait for the crowd to believe, they believed for themselves. And that inner certainty pulled the invisible into reality. You have the same power within you now. The only difference between the dreamer and the achiever is the level of belief. Confidence is not loudness, it is quiet power. It does not need to shout or prove itself. It radiates from inner knowing. It is the calm certainty that says, I am supported. Even when appearances suggest otherwise, when you walk in that energy, you become unstoppable. The things you once chased begin to chase you. Money, ideas, and people are drawn to the light of your certainty. Life itself bends to meet those who stand firm in faith. So, dare to believe before you see. Speak as though it is done. Move as though it cannot fail. Feel as though you already have it. The universe mirrors your confidence, not your caution. Every time you affirm, act, and expect from faith, you bridge the gap between desire and reality. You command the invisible to take form. Confidence is the key that unlocks the unseen, the voice that turns energy into experience, the force that transforms the dream into destiny. Confidence is magnetic. It is the unseen energy that draws opportunities, people, and wealth into your life. When you walk into a room filled with quiet assurance, the air shifts. People feel it. They may not know why, but they are drawn to you. Confidence radiates a frequency of trust, safety, and power, three energies that money and opportunity naturally follow. You become like a lighthouse, sending out steady light, guiding every good thing toward you. Doubt, on the other hand, flickers like a weak flame, unstable, uncertain, easily extinguished. The universe, like people, gravitates towards certainty. Confidence is the language of attraction. Everything in this universe moves by vibration, and confidence carries one of the highest frequencies. It says to the world, I know who I am and I know what I deserve. That vibration is irresistible. It draws to you exactly what matches your inner certainty. When you are confident in your worth, in your purpose, in your right to prosper, you begin to meet people who recognize and affirm that same truth. You don't chase, things align. You don't force, things flow. Life becomes a series of divine appointments, each one magnetically attracted to the energy you project. Money, too, responds to vibration. It is not simply paper, it is energy. It flows where it feels respected, trusted, and appreciated. It avoids those who fear or resent it. When you speak of money with worry or shame, you push it away. When you speak of it with gratitude and ease, you draw it closer. Confidence in money is not arrogance, it's harmony. You see yourself as a worthy partner in its circulation, not a beggar at its door. You know that money is simply the reflection of energy given and received. The confident person says, money loves me because I love life, I give value, and I expect return. That single attitude turns financial flow from a trickle into a river. Confidence also changes how people perceive you. Employers, clients, investors, even strangers respond not to your words, but to your energy. If you believe in your work, your product, or your service, others will too. If you hesitate, they will hesitate. You are always teaching the world how to treat you. By the way you treat yourself. When you act from confidence, you tell life, I am ready for more. And life believes you. The opportunities you once thought were beyond your reach start showing up, because you finally match their frequency. But confidence is not about pretending, it's about presence. You don't have to fake boldness, you have to remember your divine connection. True confidence is not born from ego, but from alignment. It's the deep inner knowing that says, I am one with infinite supply, and therefore I can never lack. That awareness anchors you so deeply in faith that no rejection, no delay, no setback can shake you. You begin to radiate calm assurance instead of anxious striving. People trust those who trust themselves, and money flows toward trust. Confidence turns every interaction into opportunity. When you speak, you do so with conviction. When you listen, you do so with intention. When you move, you do so with purpose. This kind of energy commands respect not through demand, but through resonance. People sense that your confidence is rooted in something real, and they respond to it. You become the person others want to follow, invest in, or collaborate with. Confidence attracts loyalty, partnership, and recognition, the natural fruits of trust. Even in silence, confidence speaks. It shows up in posture, tone, and attitude. It is not about dominance, it is about ease. The confident person does not rush because they know that what is theirs cannot miss them. They are not threatened by others' success because they understand that abundance is infinite. They do not compete, they create. They don't chase approval, they radiate authenticity. This quiet confidence becomes a magnet for everything they need because it aligns perfectly with divine law, the law that says, like attracts like. Confidence also influences timing. When you are uncertain, opportunities pass by, sensing hesitation. When you are confident, opportunities stop and wait, recognizing readiness. Life meets you at the level of your belief. The moment you step fully into confidence, the doors you've been knocking on begin to open. Not because they suddenly appeared, but because you finally had the vibration to unlock them. You realize that nothing was ever truly denied to you. It was only delayed until you believed enough to receive. And here lies the greatest secret. Confidence is not about having everything figured out. It's about trusting that everything will unfold in your favor. It's knowing that divine intelligence guides every step and that you are never without support. That trust, that faith, that knowing, that is what makes you magnetic. The universe does not respond to fear, to pleading, or to panic. It responds to calm conviction. It answers the soul that says, I am ready, I am willing, I am open. So walk in confidence, not as one demanding from life, but as one certain of their divine partnership with it. Stand tall, speak truth, and move forward with assurance that everything good is drawn to you. Feel the energy of abundance rushing toward your certainty. The world is always mirroring your belief, and when you radiate faith, joy, and confidence, everything you desire can't help but find you. Money rushes toward confidence because confidence is the signal that says, I am one with abundance itself. Confidence is faith in action. It is the movement of belief. It does not sit and wait for a miracle. It becomes the miracle through bold steps forward. Every act of confidence is a declaration to the universe. I trust in divine timing, and I trust in myself. When you move in confidence, even the smallest step carries power. Life responds to action born of faith more swiftly than 1,000 fearful prayers. Confidence turns intention into momentum, and momentum is what draws abundance near. The world does not reward hesitation, it rewards courage. The person who moves forward while others are still doubting becomes the one who leads, creates, and prospers. Action is the visible language of belief. You can speak affirmations all day long, but if your actions contradict your words, the universe listens to your movement, not your mouth. When you act in alignment with your faith, when you invest, speak, give, and create as if your success is certain, you prove that you truly believe, and what you prove through energy, life always mirrors back in form. Confidence acts even when conditions aren't perfect. It knows that perfection is an illusion created by fear to delay progress. The confident person does not wait for all lights to turn green before they begin. They start moving, knowing the next signal will appear in time. Faith does not ask for proof, it becomes the proof through motion. Every time you take a step in faith, you invite divine power to meet you halfway. The invisible forces of guidance, opportunity, and synchronicity begin to rise in your favor because you dared to act. Doubt says, what if it doesn't work? Confidence says, what if it does? That single shift in question transforms your destiny. Doubt focuses on loss. Confidence focuses on gain. The confident person understands that even failure holds hidden gifts. If one door closes, they know it only redirects them to a better one. Every attempt, whether successful or not, strengthens faith and sharpens clarity. There is no wasted action when it is guided by confidence. Confidence does not wait for fear to disappear, it moves through it. It feels the trembling and acts anyway. This kind of action transforms the very energy of fear into strength. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is mastery over it. Each time you act in spite of fear, you reprogram your mind to trust your power. Fear begins to lose its voice, and confidence becomes your natural language. Soon, the world recognizes that vibration and responds with open doors, new allies, and flowing prosperity. Action born from confidence carries magnetic authority. It attracts resources, people, and circumstances in perfect alignment. The universe loves movement. It mirrors motion with motion. When you begin to move, unseen forces move with you. When you speak, doors begin to shift. When you create, opportunities appear. But when you hesitate, energy stagnates. Life becomes a mirror of your own delay. The confident person knows this, which is why they act quickly, decisively, and with joy. They know that divine flow favors those who are in motion. Confidence also transforms how you face obstacles. To the doubtful, challenges look like blockages. To the confident, they look like invitations to rise higher. When something doesn't go as planned, the confident heart asks, "What is this teaching me?" That question alone transforms energy from resistance to acceptance, and acceptance allows new solutions to appear. Divine guidance cannot flow through frustration. It flows through calm faith. Confidence opens that channel, turning even setbacks into steps of growth. Every great success story is built upon the foundation of confidence in action. The pioneers, inventors, leaders, and creators of history did not possess certainty in outcomes. They possessed certainty in themselves and in the divine process. They knew that once they moved, the way would appear. That same power lives within you. The moment you decide to act from faith instead of fear, you join the rhythm of the universe. You become part of the divine circulation of creation. Confidence in action also inspires others. When people see you walking boldly, they begin to believe that they can too. Your courage becomes contagious. You unconsciously awaken faith in those around you. Every act of confidence becomes a spark that lights the path for others. That is the unseen reward of walking in faith. It doesn't just bring blessings to you, it multiplies them through your example. So act, even if your voice shakes. Move, even if your knees tremble. Speak, even if your heart races. Every step taken in confidence is a seed of manifestation. You may not see the harvest immediately, but it is growing beneath the surface. Life cannot ignore movement born of faith. The moment you act as if your dream is already on its way, it begins to move faster toward you. Confidence in action is the proof of belief, and belief is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Act now, trust fully, and watch how swiftly the universe rearranges itself to match your courage. Gratitude is the ultimate amplifier of confidence. When you combine faith with appreciation, you create a powerful magnet that draws abundance toward you effortlessly. The confident heart does not wait to feel grateful for what it sees. It feels grateful for what it knows is coming. Gratitude signals to the universe that you recognize supply already exists, that you trust in divine law, and that you are ready to receive more. The more you practice this, the stronger your vibration becomes, and the more the universe responds in kind. Every time you give thanks, you are declaring ownership of your good. You are telling life, "I see my blessings and I claim them." That declaration carries immense creative force. Words of gratitude spoken from conviction vibrate on a frequency that cannot be ignored. They align your subconscious with the reality you desire, removing the friction of doubt and fear. Life has no choice but to mirror the energy you consistently project. The thankful heart is a fertile ground for opportunity, wealth, and joy. Gratitude also transforms how you perceive challenges. When setbacks arise, the confident person looks for lessons and hidden blessings rather than despairing. They give thanks even in difficulty, knowing that every experience has a purpose in shaping their path. This perspective keeps energy flowing instead of stagnant. Where the fearful see barriers, the grateful and confident see guidance. Gratitude is the lens that allows you to recognize divine orchestration behind every circumstance. Moreover, gratitude strengthens your relationship with your own worth. When you acknowledge and appreciate the talents, resources, and abilities you already possess, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy of more. The confident person does not measure worth by comparison to others. They measure it by recognizing the infinite value within themselves. Every acknowledgement of your gifts sends a signal to the universe that you are ready for the corresponding abundance. The practice of gratitude also accelerates manifestation. When you thank life for abundance before it arrives, you remove resistance. You stop wrestling with the how and when and allow the universe to orchestrate the perfect path. Confidence without gratitude can attract, but confidence with gratitude attracts exponentially. The two together are a potent combination, signaling readiness, worthiness, and expectation all at once. Gratitude transforms energy from scarcity to plenty. Scarcity focuses on what is missing, which attracts more lack. Gratitude focuses on what is already present, which attracts more of the same. When you feel grateful for every small success, every helpful connection, and every insight, you begin to notice a cascade of blessings that you might have overlooked. That cascade grows into a torrent as your confidence strengthens and your expectation expands. Even your words become more powerful when they are laced with gratitude. Saying, "I am grateful for the wealth flowing into my life," carries more creative weight than, "I hope I get wealth soon." The universe responds to the certainty behind the statement, not the wishfulness of it. Gratitude gives your affirmations a life force, a momentum that propels manifestation forward. It turns confident declarations into unstoppable reality. Confidence paired with gratitude also influences your actions. When you act from a place of appreciation, you naturally make decisions that honor your abundance. You become generous with your time, energy, and resources, knowing that giving does not deplete supply, it expands it. You make choices that align with growth rather than fear, further enhancing your magnetic pull toward opportunities and prosperity. Ultimately, the combination of confidence and gratitude is transformative because it rewires your entire perception of reality. You no longer see obstacles, you see pathways. You no longer see limits, you see possibilities. You no longer wait for luck, you act from certainty. The universe responds by arranging circumstances, people, and resources to match that elevated state of being. This is the essence of why money and opportunity rush toward the confident heart. It vibrates in alignment with the flow of life itself. So cultivate gratitude as a daily practice. Give thanks not only for what has come, but for what is already on its way. Speak it, feel it, live it. Let your heart overflow with recognition of your worth, your talents, and the infinite possibilities before you. In doing so, you not only amplify confidence, you create a radiant energy that draws all forms of abundance toward you. Money, success, and blessings cannot resist the magnetic force of a grateful, confident soul.